For over a decade, the gaming world has been chasing a ghost. That ghost is the Source 2 SDK. Since Valve first teased their new engine, developers have been salivating at the thought of getting their hands on the tools. We've seen what Valve can do with it. We've seen the lighting, the Rubicon physics, and the legendary optimization that makes Valve games feel like Valve games. But for 10 years, those tools stayed behind a locked door. Unless you were a high-level partner or a Valve employee, you were stuck on the outside looking in. But while we were all waiting for Valve to drop a traditional SDK, something was happening in the background at Face Punch Studios. Garry Newman, the creator of Garry's Mod and Rust, was building a love letter to Source 2. He called it s&box, or as some say, s&box. For a long time, people thought s&box was just going to be Garry's Mod 2, a sandbox where you play other people's creations. But as of March 2026, the entire landscape of indie game development is shifting. The news we have been waiting years for is official. Face Punch has finalized a standalone license with Valve. This means you can now build a game in s&box, export it as a standalone executable, and sell it on Steam as your own professional product, completely royalty free. This is the birth of a new modern engine war. This is Valve's current secret weapon to reclaim the scene from Unity and Unreal. Today we are breaking down why this deal is such big news for gamers and developers. Before we get into the legal deal, we need to understand what s&box actually is. According to Face Punch's official description, s&box is a spiritual successor to Garry's Mod and a love letter to Source 2. It's built to eclipse what was possible before, not just modernize it. We're using Source 2 and everything we've learned from Source 1, Garry's Mod, Unity, and Unreal to create a modern, intuitive, moddable game development environment. Just think about that for a second. They aren't trying to make a better Gmod. They are trying to take the best parts of Unity and Unreal and combine them with the Valve feel of Source 2. It's a full game engine and platform where you create in a familiar scene-based editor, but unlike other engines, multiplayer is built in from day one. You create a game and it's instantly playable. As Garry puts it, this is a long-term project. They aren't looking for a quick win. They are building a platform they want to use themselves for the next couple of decades. With the Steam page already live and a full launch window set for April 2026, we are standing on the edge of a new era. Anyone who has tried out s&box already can tell you it has insane potential when it fully launches. The possibilities are essentially endless. So now let's get into the heart of the new developments. On March 25th, 2026, Garry Newman dropped a bombshell in their newsfeed. He stated, "We signed the new license with Valve this week, allowing us to allow people to export games from s&box's editor and ship them as standalone games on Steam, completely royalty free." He admitted that this wasn't an easy deal to strike. He called it a bit of a complicated journey that required a lot of reassurance and compromises. But in the end, as Garry famously said, Valve did the bizzo. Usually when you license an engine, you are signing away a huge chunk of your wallet. But this deal allows you to take your s&box creation, let's say you made a revolutionary tactical shooter, or maybe even a cozy farming simulator, and then you turn it into a standalone game. The player at home doesn't even need to have s&box installed to see or play your game. You don't owe Valve or Face Punch a single cent in royalties for using their engine. s&box is entering the market and saying, keep your money. You owe nothing for using the Source 2 technology provided through s&box. This makes it one of the most financially attractive engines for any developer to launch on Steam. Valve and Face Punch are essentially paying it forward. They want to see the next generation of creators succeed without the weight of corporate greed crushing them before they start. But you might be wondering, why is Garry doing this? Why wouldn't he at least take a small cut? He is providing the tools and so much more. In November 2025, when he began the process of open sourcing sandbox components, he said, "Valve gave me my chance. I'm already rich. I don't want to fuck anyone over." He expanded on this in further interviews, explaining that his entire 20-year career is thanks to Valve taking a risk on a modder from the UK back in the early 2000s. Garry's mod gave him more money than he could have ever dreamed of, and now he feels a responsibility to pass that torch. That's my main motivation now, is giving people what I've had, because I think Valve did it for me. I think we should be the same because everybody benefits. So by making Sandbox standalone and royalty free, Garry is recreating the Garry's mod moment for everyone else. He is giving us the tools to build the next big game, and he's removing every legal barrier that usually stops that from happening. But now we need to clarify something important. The version of Source 2 inside Sandbox isn't just a copy and paste of what Valve uses for Counter-Strike 2 or Dota 2. It's a custom high-performance branch that Facepunch has been gutting and rebuilding for years, as they also are using C# for multiple other systems. So although this isn't the raw Source 2 code that Valve uses, it is still a very important part. Just think of it this way: Valve builds Source 2 to make Valve games. That means the raw engine is often full of Valve jank, specific code meant only for Half-Life or Counter-Strike. Garry and his team took that foundation and essentially translated it for the rest of us. They've replaced the old clunky systems with modern workflows. It's Source 2, but it's been face-punchified to be fun and easy to use. So some game devs or even gamers might be wondering, but why would you pick this over a behemoth like Unreal Engine 5 or Unity? And it comes down to three things: physics, fidelity, and friction. For physics, Unreal is known for chaos physics, which is great for cinematic destruction, but it can feel heavy or floaty at times. Source 2 uses Rubicon, which is arguably the most tactile physics engine in gaming. It's why throwing a bottle in Half-Life Alyx or moving in CS2 feels so precise. For indies making physics-based games, this is the gold standard. So Sandbox currently uses a customized version of Rubicon, which they call Box 3D Physics, as they've made tons of changes to it over the years. In terms of visuals, while Unreal has Lumen, it requires a massive amount of hardware power. Sandbox leverages Valve's VRAD 3 lighting and native Vulkan support. It gives you that crisp, clean Valve look, high-end lighting, and shadows that run smoothly even on mid-range hardware. It's AAA fidelity without the AAA hardware requirement. But then there's also the death of compile times. In Sandbox, with hot loading, you can change the gravity of your world or the fire rate of a gun while you are standing in the game, and it updates the second you hit save. You're not just building a game, you're actually playing with it in real time. But I already know there's going to be a question that a lot of you are asking: why doesn't Valve just release their own Source 2 SDK? Why have to go through Facepunch? And well, if you know Valve, you know they are a product-first company. They build tools to make their games. So by licensing the engine to Facepunch, Valve gets all the benefits of Source 2 being widely used without any of the headaches of supporting it. Facepunch acts as the translator. They take the raw, powerful, and often messy internal Valve tools and polish them into a consumer-grade product. This is likely the only quote-unquote Source 2 SDK we will see for a very, very long time, even though it's not technically only Source 2 and more so just a custom version of it at this point. Valve provided the foundation and Garry provides the accessibility. It's a genius move that keeps the Valve ecosystem alive and thriving. So right now, we are currently in the home stretch. The technical rollout for standalone exporting is happening as we speak. Garry Garry mentioned that they still have some paperwork to finish. We still have work to do on our end. We need to create a license between Facepunch and the people shipping games, then double and triple check everything is legit. When it's ready, we'll be piloting it with a few select people. The first game expected to launch under this license is My Summer Cottage. When that hits Steam, it will be proof of concept for the game dev industry. Once that's over, the doors are open for everyone. With s&box's full release scheduled for April 2026, we are about to see a flood of high-quality Source 2 powered games hitting Steam. If you had these tools in your hands today, with zero royalties and the ability to launch on Steam, what is the first game you would build? Are we about to see the return of the classic Source mod era, but this time with professional standalone releases?